Hi everyone, and welcome to There's Something in the Air. It is a special mini ClexaCon podcast with me and Michelle.
Hi everyone.
We just wanted to talk to you about the first 2 days. We had some pre-activities yesterday, and then today was the first full day of the con. I want to tell a kind of fun, I think, story. Yesterday in Pittsburgh, Chris and I got to the airport super early. We left the house at like 10 to 4. We had friends who were flying out not on the same airline, but who were getting there at around the same time. And I kind of thought about like trying to make a plan to meet up with them at the airport after we got through security and stuff. And I was like, no, it's going to be way too hard to coordinate. So we park. We're looking for wherever the fuck the airport shuttle is, because Pittsburgh's airport is kind of a clusterfuck. And I see two people running towards the shuttle, or running towards something, and I'm like, oh, it must be the shuttle. Well, Chris had seen the shuttle, and she takes off, and then I look at the two people, and they are our friends, Rachel and Christy. So we got on the bus. Everyone on the bus, on the shuttle, were extremely confused as to why these four lesbians, queer women, were like... we obviously hadn't gone there together, knew each other, were going to the same place, and then we all cuddled. It was pretty great.
Main question, did anybody get off the bus?
Never get off the bus. We didn't learn our lesson.
Yeah, so you guys got in yesterday. I also technically got in yesterday. At 12:30 a.m., my poor roomie was stuck waiting up for me. And it...
Oh. Well, I think Belinda's new name, instead of Belinda who doesn't listen to our podcast, is Belinda who interrupts our podcast. Thanks for letting me know you were on your way up, love.
I forgot until we were right outside, and then we told Belinda this was her big chance, since she didn't do it in Columbus.
My biggest regret in Columbus was not scaring that crap out of you guys when you podcasted.
So Michelle got in yesterday.
Everybody got in yesterday. That happened. And then we spent the day in the hotel, kind of waiting for the rest of our people to show up. And we spent a lot of time watching like 200 queer women shrieking at each other in a lobby.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
The check-in was insane, so I'm really glad that I came in at 12:30 a.m.
Fun tip, if ClexaCon is at this hotel next year, if you are a Hilton Honors Rewards member, you get to bypass the long line and go to a special check-in line. And joining Hilton Honors is free.
So after everybody checked in, it was time for the badge pickup party at the end of the day. And the badge pickup party was... Angie, who doesn't listen to our podcast, is...
I'm not sure what I'd call what she was just doing. I think she thinks it was dancing.
She was shaking her bootay.
This podcast has derailed very quickly. So there was a badge pickup party at a very tiny nightclub that was like 2 miles away.
Yeah, it was like a mile and a half, a little over a mile walk.
And naturally we walked there because we weren't going to pay an Uber to go a mile. So we walked down a really sketchy road where I'm pretty sure there were multiple bodies like in the sand on the side.
Correct.
So we busted tail to get there, and then when we did, the line to get your badge was out of the club and like around the parking lot and starting to go down the, like, it wasn't a block, it was just a shady street.
Yeah. So we got in line, and Michelle is a panelist, so she went inside, unfortunately, we found out, because two of the ClexaCon people came out and were like, hey, is there anyone who just wants to get their badge and leave? And we were all like, hi, we volunteer as tribute. We do not want to go inside that clusterfuck. So that was really cool. I think it's really great that they did that. I think the location that they chose for the badge pickup party was unfortunate. And a badge pickup party, like, isn't really my jam anyway. Like, I would just rather go and pick up my bad. Like, I'm not really a club type person. I like drinking and hanging out, but like that is not my personal preferred venue.
So the only badges they brought out to the parking lot were 3-day passes. And I needed to go find, I don't know how the fuck I got there. I don't know what happened. I maybe had one of the most severe panic attacks that I've ever had. Apologies to all people who saw that.
Yes, and then we were very concerned about Michelle, so apologies to anyone who talked to us in really an hour anywhere near that. We were just concerned with getting her, like...
I have severe social anxiety, and a nightclub is actually my personal hell. So, I somehow, I don't know how it happened, wound up out on the patio after walking through like 7 different rooms in this place, and I was like, oh, badges, sweet. And there were quite a few, like, people who I know were Erpers along the way who were kind of like, hey, it's gonna be okay. And then so when I finally got my badge, I just like, if you're listening, and I pushed you out of the way. I was not in a good place. Like, I got out of the club and I almost threw up, so, like, I was not doing too hot.
This is Apologies Corner here on There's Something in the Air.
We were a mess. So, moral of the story, the badge pickup party was a shit show. I don't know anybody who actually enjoyed themselves there. There were people who weren't part of ClexaCon that were actually there to, like, be at a nightclub, and they seemed to be having a blast.
They were like, what's happening? I come here every Thursday, and I've never seen it like this. So then we ended up coming back to our hotel room and ordering pizza and just hanging out. And it was very nice and chill. And then our last 2 friends got here yesterday, and I was so tired that I was falling asleep while talking to them, and also fell asleep with my glasses on. My wife, like, plucked them off my face. And then they were laughing at me today, like, Monica, you fell asleep instantly. I've never seen that happen before. Like, I rolled over and was asleep within 5 seconds. So you'd think that I would get amazing sleep. Michelle slept okay last night. I only know this because she told me.
That's because I took so much anxiety medication. Knocked out.
Again, anti-anxiety
Anti-anxiety medication.
Just to be clear for anyone.
I took medicine to induce more anxiety because I hadn't had enough.
I would also like to have a special mention to my wife, Chris, who was a fucking pizza hero, reading that directly from the text she just sent me, and she was upset that I did not mention her. Yes, this special live version of There's Something in the Air has a crowd. We have an audience.
Yay!
I guess we did do a live podcast with an audience this year at ClexaCon. Next year we're aiming for 5 people.
The audience is very interactive.
There's a lot of dancing, a lot of butt work going on. Someone almost spit out their drink. Anyway, I woke up super early this morning.
Time zones are a bitch.
Time zones are really a bitch. I had some fun conversations with some lovely people on Twitter. And we did meet, especially yesterday, we met so many people who came up and introduced themselves. And today at the con, we got to meet superfan Amanda, whoever listens to this podcast knows how much we love her, and that was awesome. And we did meet several other people, some of whose names I can't remember, so I won't mention any of them, because I'm very bad at names. We're getting comments from the Peanut Gallery again. And then yesterday, we were at lunch, some random woman walked up to us at Eggslut and asked if we were going to ClexaCon. And when we said yes, she said how nice it was to see Moe's in the city.
Because it's so hetero here.
So that was pretty cool. Michelle and I tried to have a Jenga rematch at the beer place that we went to, but then we just were looking to see if we had sat at the table with the Jenga pieces that we played last year.
We drew on them last year. They were gone. It was different pieces. So today was the first official day of ClexaCon, and it was a lot.
It was a lot. We were kind of overwhelmed from last night bleeding into this morning, so we didn't get there right when it opened. We had a really amazing breakfast, which was like one of my food highlights probably of this trip. And then we made our way into the convention and hit the vendors area.
I spent far too much money, which should surprise no one. And if you know me and my trash can family, you can guess what that money was spent on.
Michelle and I also bought the same t-shirt. It is a Supercorp t-shirt, and it is amazing. You guys will probably see that t-shirt in a photo op of hers later this weekend.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, it's gonna be awesome.
It is gonna be awesome. So make sure to keep an eye out on our Twitter for that.
So, as far as panels that we attended, Heidi, fan of the podcast, and I
really just like Anna Green
I'm not sure if Michelle's microphone picked that up, but Heidi just said, I just really like Anne of Green Gables.
we went to a Trig Genesis workshop, basically learning about how the grounder language from the Hundi was developed. And it was amazing because the language is interesting, but the guy who created it could not have shit on the 100 more if he tried. He does not like working on that show. Jason Rottenhell is, in fact, as bad as we predicted. Right?
Correct.
Heidi agrees. So that was interesting. We learned a lot. There's a workshop of actually learning how to speak the language tomorrow that I'd like to go to. And if I do and I learn how to speak it, I'm just going to randomly start doing that in the podcast.
Yes, Michelle will only be podcasting in that language from now on, so that's really something very exciting for everyone to look forward to, especially me. I went to the LGBTQ actresses panel, and it was really good. I have to say that Dot Marie Jones is fucking hysterical. I cannot wait to see the short that she talked about where she plays the angry nun on the bike. Like, she's like an angry biker nun. Heidi hates nuns, so she won't see it ever.
Except she's not short, though.
Especially I don't think...
How is she in a short if she's not short?
That's for Sally.
You can see yourself out.
And that is Angie, who didn't used to listen to our podcast and is now a featured player. It was really interesting to hear them talk about the different challenges that they faced and what they liked about working with, like the difference between working with, for example, cishet men and queer directors. It was really interesting. It was really funny. Most of the women all were queer, some were bi, and some were lesbians, I believe. And it was, most of them were pretty femme-looking. Not all of them. Dot Marie Jones is not, but Dot Marie Jones and
Haviland?
Oh, right. Yes, Haviland Stillwell, I think, were joking that they both go for the same roles all the time. About, Dot Marie Jones was saying she never gets cast as someone's wife or mother or as a nurse or a doctor. She always gets prisoner. Or, biker chick. And it's true. What she said was, there are wives and other professionals who look like me, but that's not what I get cast for. And it was really interesting. It was a pretty good panel. And then all of us, Michelle and I both went to the Lost Girl panel, which was...
That was something. If you hear people saying the word brunch a lot...
Within just very shortly, it devolved into, we were reminded for asking questions as fans to keep it clean, but nobody told the cast that. It was great. It was very cool to see the actress who played Ebony at the con and to talk a little bit, because I had never seen it. I had never seen, I'm not sure if she's ever been to a con. If she has, I had never seen any of the footage, so that was really cool. And Anna and Zoe, of course, are always hysterical, and they're the head writer for a couple of the seasons. Her name is Emily Andrus. I'm not sure if you guys know who she is. She also seems kind of funny, so it was just really entertaining.
Yeah, the panel ended with a fan asking what if they thought that there was going to be a Docubus marriage. So Zoe just got up and proposed.
It was a beautiful moment.
The genesis of the brunch was, what would Docubus be doing right now?
Right.
And Anna Silk went ahead and said they'd probably be making brunch.
And I think Zoe asked, is that a euphemism? And things just really went downhill from there. And by downhill, I mean, it was amazing. We, unfortunately, missed the Winona Earp panel.
Which is it's oddly on brand.
It is.
For a Winona Earp podcast, yes.
We have heard that there are 4,000 people at this con, and the largest room holds 900 people.
And since we went to the Lost Girl panel and then we had to, like, use the bathroom,
Right.
by the time that we had
By
gotten...
the time we would have been able to line up.
The line was down, they had to cut off the line because it was like, you guys can keep lining up, but this is ridiculous. Like, you're not all getting in. So we didn't try. Instead, we went and took a selfie with Zoe Palmer.
Yes, we got, our friend Heidi got a Zoe Palmer autograph, I assume Zoe was in Anne of Green Gables. That's the only reason I can think of that she would have gotten that autograph. And then we took a pretty cool selfie with her. I had said that if I had gotten the autograph, I would have just asked her to write Jolene 4 times on the picture, but I didn't. But that was really cool, and then we saw Zoe and Anna in the hallway afterwards, after we had left the con. And that was pretty adorable, because Zoe was like, oh my god, it's Anna Silk!
They were adorable. You can tell that they're friends.
Yeah. The chemistry between them, like, between the entire Lost Girl cast, reminds me so much of the chemistry between everyone on Winona Earp. Like, they all just seem like a family and like friends.
And that's what Rachel said, because, Rachel had the honor of fighting with Winona in her underwear. And she said the dynamic was really similar. So I'm just assuming that that's the power of Emily Andros.
And they also announced at the Last Girl panel that in addition to Zoe Palmer being on Season 3 of Winona Earp, Anna Silk will also be on Season 3. So that is very exciting. Emily had said that she just wants all of the cast of Lost Girl to come on Winona Earp, and I am, like, weirdly intrigued by maybe the thought of Chris Holden Reed coming on, because I think he would be a really great addition. I think he is hysterical. One of our fans just whispered, "Is that Dyson?" Yes, that's Dyson. He, in the body swap episode, he was by far my favorite part. Like, when he was Kenzie as Dyson. Like, I got the wolf junk, babe. I believe that's what he said. Like, that is hysterical.
I think that's the best episode of Lost Girl.
Yes, I agree.
And then what we did was we came back up to our rooms and recorded a podcast.
And that's brought us up to here. So we're probably gonna, like, go out and, like, make it rain and party Vegas style. Who told us that funny? So we stopped and we got a caricature done. Is that who said about the make it rain thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because she was giving us change and was like, who wants the singles and who wants the 5?
And obviously Michelle took the singles so she could make it rain later.
Oh, yeah, with the $7 whole that I had in my possession.
But she said that a friend of hers wanted to go to a strip club and take quarters and throw them and shout, "Make it hail." And I just thought that was really funny. Anyway, that takes care of our first day and a half here at ClexaCon. There are a lot of people here, a lot more people than last year. It seems way more like a quote-unquote Comic-Con than last year's did. Last year's was really cool because it felt more intimate, but this is cool because there are so many more vendors and, more guests, and it's just really cool. I'm excited for tomorrow. So I think that is all for us right now. We're gonna, probably go out and party it up like the crazy people that we are. So thank you for listening. If you want to...
Go to our website, herbswingpod.com, hit contact.
That is what I was going to say, you asshole. Would you just Fine. You just finish it up!
Well, maybe we might not be actually going out because it appears we're fighting now. But go to our website, herbswingpod.com, and click contact, and it has all the information that we normally read, but we're in Vegas.
We are in Vegas.
So talk to you all later.